I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I kept saying that last week I lost 5 pounds. That's not true. Turns out I just can't do basic math. I lost 7 pounds last week. That being said, let's do a weigh-in. Okay, TBH, I just took some time to process and cried a little bit. That was not what I was expecting. The number has literally gone up. What? Like, what do you mean? How is that possible? Okay, I was Googling, trying to figure out like what could possibly have happened because I like know for a fact I was in a calorie deficit. I've been tracking everything with MyFitnessPal. So I was like actually very upset and pretty confused. But here's the thing that I found on Google is water retention is a really big thing. Like your body will basically desperately try to stay in its homeostasis by holding on to water. And I have been drinking like a lot more water than I typically would before, just in general like health mindset, trying to stay hydrated, all that stuff. And also the other thing is fiber. Along with those higher protein meals that I ate recently came a lot of fiber for me anyway, like super increase all of a sudden of fiber for me. And I have been feeling a little like backed up lately. So I'm going to chalk it up to those things and try to like not get upset and demotivated and panic and definitely not give up, because it just like the fact remains that like it just couldn't stay this way. Like if I continue in a calorie deficit the way that I've been, like it just is not, it's just not possible for me to keep the weight. So I'm just gonna just really try to manage my emotions here, because as I keep saying, like my mentality, my emotions really is just like the thing that gets me every time, right? So deep breathing, remembering the positives, remaining logical, and we'll keep going. At my last weigh-in, I had actually gained half a pound, and at the time I wrote that off as probably holding on to water weight, or maybe I gained some muscle, or maybe I was bloated that day, whatever, in the interest of not getting upset and losing motivation. And here I just want to kind of continue that thought with that there are a lot of goals that have nothing to do with the number on the scale going down that are actually even more important to me than the number on the scale going down. One being me just having a healthy relationship with food, me just having a homeostasis of craving healthy foods and eating in balance and things like that. And that has definitely had a lot of progress. I haven't had any binging in the last couple weeks. I haven't wanted to binge. And there's definitely been some times where in the past I might have wanted to binge in that situation, and now I've gone through some of those and didn't want to binge at the time. So there's a lot of positives that are happening here, and I need to definitely keep reminding myself of that, because as I keep saying, like my main thing with weight loss is always just my mindset and my like ability to stay positive and hopeful about things. Get ready with me while I talk about some of the things that have nothing to do with the scale that are keeping me motivated to lose weight. When I got down to 225, I bought a bunch of new clothes and then immediately put all the weight back on. So now I just have all of those clothes that I can't wear right now. Like I have all these workout clothes. I have to like wash and recycle the same workout clothes over and over, because they're the only ones comfortable enough to work out in, and then just like a bunch of other clothing and tops as well that I am quite looking forward to actually being able to wear, since I spent all that money buying them. I'm also just looking forward to the amount of money that I'm going to save by not buying fast food so much. Fast food is very expensive, and all of that money that I used to spend on fast food now gets to go directly into my savings account. Also, I'm looking forward to just feeling more energetic. Like the worse that I eat, the less I sleep, the less energy I have, the worse my mood gets, right? So I'm looking forward to just having energy and feeling just generally good and happy most of the time. And I think I've probably mentioned my knees in like every single video that I ever talk about my weight, but honestly, it's like the most prominent problem that I deal with is my freaking knees hurt all the time. So I am very much looking forward to my knees not hurting at all. I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I've lost 7 so far. Let's do a little health and food vlog today. So I woke up kind of late today, but did make it to Zumba class on time. Did an hour of Zumba. Just got back, had a little snack of a banana and like a little handful of peanuts. I think today we're gonna go out to lunch and probably go try to find somewhere we can walk around. We started with vegan Mexican food at my favorite spot in Pomona called Borguitas. Then I found myself at an Asian supermarket, so I picked up a couple of flavored waters. This one is lychee flavor. Not a fan. Tastes like perfume. The strawberry was much better. Definitely would not buy again though. Way too sweet. My favorite thing that I tried there though was this pineapple drinkable jelly. Now that was really good. It was kind of drab out, but we wanted to find somewhere we could walk around, so we found ourselves at the mall, where I just like to look at all the pretty things that I never purchase, but like to look at. These Nikes were on sale, so I grabbed them. I love the rose gold. I really didn't mean to down my ramen so fast, and I didn't even take a clip of it, but I ate 2 packages of ramen cooked in like a spicy sweet soy sauce, and I'm going to finish off the day with some peanut butter pretzels. I ate 21.12 today, and I still have a remaining 581. I'm not going to use those though. I'm just simply full. I'm going to go to bed in a few hours. That was just a satisfying amount of food for me today. Like I said, the banana and peanuts that I had this morning before I realized I was going to do a video. The tacos and things that I ate at lunch today, and as you can see, like there's not like the enchiladas. I had a few bites of that, and he had a few bites of one of the tacos, but like that's kind of also why I leave a few hundred at the end of each day, because I know that I'm not counting every tiny little thing exactly. And I know just like from experience, from what people say, is that people tend to underestimate calories. So again, that's why I try to leave like some at the end of each day. Because as you can see, like it's not exact, but it's close enough so that I know like whether I am overeating or not, basically. And again, a lot of this for me of writing all of this down is just to keep food and what I'm eating and the amounts and the frequency and everything on the top of my mind. And writing it out, remembering to write it out, just helps me keep it as a focus on my brain. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, those 2 bricks of ramen, and then I do a spicy sweet sauce. But sriracha says it doesn't have any calories. It probably has less than 1 per whatever. So I just don't write, like, again, I don't write every tiny little thing. So there was soy sauce and sriracha and maple syrup. There was probably, what, like 30 or something? I don't know, I'm guessing off the top of my head. Calories in the soy sauce. Could be less than that. Could be more. But really, I just did the syrup. And then I had a couple tablespoons of peanut butter and some pretzels to finish off the day. Oh, and then, of course, I accounted for those sparkling waters that I tried earlier on. I have over 100 pounds to lose. I have a goal weight of about 160 pounds. I say about because I have genuinely, literally never once in my entire life been at a healthy weight. So I have trouble conceptualizing this end goal that I have of 160. Like, I get the gist, you know what I mean? I can imagine it, like, but I don't understand it personally from experience. And that's just a crazy thought to me. Like, there's pictures of me 3, 4, 5 years old, like I'm already overweight. The best it's ever gotten for me was when I was like leaning really heavily into substances and uppers and stuff, and that's pretty much the only time in my life my appetite was ever curbed, even to any degree at all. And even then I was still somewhat overweight. Even then I never got down to actually a healthy weight. It's crazy to me to think about the fact that I do not know healthy eating. I do not know healthy practices with food. I do not know what my body feels like to actually genuinely feel good. Like, I was literally trained from 2, 3, 4, 5 years old to control my emotions with food. Like, come to find out now, 30 years later, was probably BPD, but 30 years ago, with the resources my parents had, they just didn't know what to do about this out of control, over emotional, like, child. They thought it was ADHD, all this stuff. Like, we tried medicines, didn't work out, whatever. Basically, I just ended up training myself for literally 30 something years to control my emotions with food, and the results of that obviously are not desirable. So that's why I say about 160. Maybe I'll feel good at 170, maybe I'll feel good at 140. Like, I don't actually really know yet. I just go solely based off of BMI, and that says that someone my height should be 160. Let's make a super easy shepherd's pie, but with lentils instead of beef. I'm
I'm going to start out with a 15-ounce can of lentils, add in a 15-ounce can of mixed veg. I'm using this better than bouillon, the vegetable base, mixing a tablespoon of that in there. Garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and turmeric. Cook that down until most of the water is gone, and I added a little bit of salt at the end. Transferred that to a little loaf pan baking dish and topped with instant mashed potatoes that have garlic, salt, and pepper. And then I'm just making little like uneven peaks at the top. You just don't want it smooth. You want it very textured at the top. It gives it a nice texture once you bake it. Then I'm going to use Violife cheddar shreds. I'm going to take about a cup of that and top the whole thing. Once that's melted, I'm going to serve and top with Smart Balance.